Welcome to Wisconsin's 57 Television. We are so happy to be here at CrossFit Recursive, downtown right on Willie Street here. And I'm here with Dr. Pat, and we are going to learn about all things CrossFit today through Dirk and Nicole Gessler, the owners. So
we're going to do some burpees, I understand.
We're going to do some burpees.
Do some squats.
Yes, and you know a little bit about these things.
Yes,
Tell us.
I used to be a power lifter, and I've done squats, and it's nice to see a lot of these lifts carried on in the CrossFit routine because they're just wonderful core exercises that everyone can do and get better at.
Yeah, and from what I understand, they use your body weight. A lot of these things that are going to make you do moves that you normally do in your life anyways, up and down the stairs, up and off a couch, getting off the ground
so
if you fall.
Help you with living.
Help you with living, exactly. So again, we're here at CrossFit Recursive, just off the square area downtown on Williamson Street, and we're going to have a lot of fun today getting into these moves at CrossFit Recursive. Welcome back to Wisconsin's 57 Television. We are here at CrossFit Recursive, and we have a couple of new faces to introduce to you and a couple of new actions to introduce today, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so with me on my right are Olivia Lidke and Patrick Nottingham.
Yep.
And they are going to introduce some movements to us that you're going to see within the CrossFit style exercising, but this is a really special way to see it because CrossFit Recursive offers you a way to do this at home. So it is a 2-week intro to CrossFit course that you can do in your home. They send you an email. All you have to do is sign up on the website, and this is some examples of the first day, correct?
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Okay, all right. So kind of tell us a little bit about what you're going to do, and then you can literally show us. And if we have a couple of questions, we'll shout them out.
Perfect, sounds good.
Thank you.
So that home challenge, like you said, is a really easy way to get into some of the movements that are understand the things that we're trying to get for people to hopefully later on join the gym, join the community. We start off with some warm-up movements. We're going to do jumping jacks, cross jacks, do some lizard lunge because we love some animals, super storks, and bootstrappers. Yeah, they're great names. They're great names. So last one's bootstrappers. So first one is pretty simple. A lot of people know it already. It's that jumping jack. I'll sort of step to the side. Olivia's going to be my athlete. Basically, you're going to get about 25 reps at home, but feet underneath the hips. Bring those legs out as those hands come up overhead for the jumping jacks. Cross jacks are going to be starting in kind of like a happy starfish. So go and give me a happy starfish. From that position, feet and hands come in, arms are crossing over the body, and you're alternating that cross position.
So are those different arm movements, are they working different muscles? One's up above the head, one's across the body?
Yes, for both of them you're trying to get just general blood flow and warmth for the system, but it's also getting some interconnectivity with cross planes and some transformational movements from side to side. So yeah, it's kind of working two different things.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Next thing is going to be that lizard lunge. Lizard lunge, go ahead and step up. It's going to be step out lunge. You're going to have, if you're using your left leg, you're going to have your right hand down. From this position, you're going to have that left hand twist up and open. It's going to open up that thoracic and some of the back musculature. You're going to bring that left hand down by the other hand, bend those arms and sink into that hip. So it's going to work that hip flexor as well. Okay. Go ahead and stand up.
She makes it look really easy.
Yeah, she's our ideal. It's perfect.
So some of our people at home shouldn't feel bad if they can't do the full movement.
Absolutely not. No, we have modifications for all the movements. We have ways that we want to get people. Doing the movements is the best way to increase mobility. Okay. So it's a really good way to kind of work through that. One quick side piece for the lizard lunge. Just for the safety at home, go and get back in the lizard lunge. You want to make sure when you're doing that lizard lunge that you have that knee stacked over that ankle, so that knee isn't behind the ankle or it's not in front of the ankle as well. It's just nice and stacked position.
And what might happen, say, if you did it wrong, just so people know how important that is?
It's basically to maintain really good safety for the kneecap and all the ligatures within the system. It's just a nice, solid, safe position.
Safe for the knees.
Yep, stacked over the ankle.
Yeah, the knees can be trouble spots, so that's a good thing to know. So stacking.
Yep, go standing up for me. So the next thing we got is going to be a super stork. Super stork is the ideal position. It looks fairly advanced. Some people at home we have some modifications for it. So go ahead and show us the super stork. You're going to kick out, swing that leg. Things to note, do a couple more for us. As you're doing it, if the left foot is down, that right hand is up and that right leg is swinging. So you're alternating that side. Some modifications, if that bounce is a little bit too much, you can go ahead and have both hands up. That opposite hand will kick to that target and both hands can come down to the floor. Another modification is, instead of that one solid swing, you can have target up, you can kick to that foot, stop that swing, then active leg coming back. So you have 3 different ways you can kind of play into that work.
Okay, I like there's another animal name on there, super stork.
Yeah, super storks, not just regular storks, super storks, yeah.
So just to be clear, not only do you get emails indicating what these exercises are, you also get a video at home,
Absolutely.
right?
We go through all the mechanics, talk about how to do it safely and easily.
And the whole workout is 30 minutes with warm-up and cool-down.
Absolutely. The workout for today would be an AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible, for 8 minutes of burpees and air squats, which you go through the video and explain how to do those movements safely so you understand them at home.
Just to be clear here, so when people get the email at home, by signing up on the website for the at-home challenge, they also get a video showing these things, right?
Absolutely. You get a video, you get a big explanation how to work through all the movements safely so they can follow them at home. And we also have follow-up. They can email and call us if they have any questions about the movements themselves while they're doing them. So we have good support for all the way through their 2-week journey.
Fabulous. To get you into the gym eventually at home under 30 minutes. Thank you so much, Patrick and Olivia, for showing us and telling us how to get worked out with CrossFit at home here at CrossFit Recursive, only on Wisconsin's 57 television. Welcome back to CrossFit Recursive. We are having a wonderful time here with Nicole and Dirk Gessler. Thank you for having us back. We always enjoy our time here. We're learning a lot today. We're of course learning about CrossFit, but in particular, we're gonna learn about push-ups today. So push-ups can be something that could intimidate. We want people to know here that they can come in if they know or they don't, and they'll help you, and there's lots of things to do. And you're going to show us some demonstrations right now, right, Nicole?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm looking
You know,
forward
and
to
one thing that's interesting, there's nothing more fun than not being able to do a push-up, and then you can do more of them and keep adding to it. So
absolutely.
anyone can get better at them.
Yep.
Exactly. And we're going to show you how.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to have Nicole get down here. She's going to enter the probably familiar plank position. She's going to keep her butt low, and then she's going to actually rotate her elbow back so her arm is facing forward, and then she's going to slowly lower herself down, keeping her triceps right next to her body here. This keeps the shoulder in a safe position, and then from here she's going to push back out until we fully lock out the elbows here. Go ahead and do a couple more for me just so we can see the elbows staying in close, the body staying in that nice straight line.
Because this is one of those movements that you can easily, you know, end up in an arch or
Good.
you know,
Go ahead.
hands face the wrong way. Thank you, Nicole. That was great.
All right, so if you don't have push-ups already, then we have ways to modify that. And a great way to use it, we have boxes here, but a table or a bench, anything like that will work great. So she's gonna actually set up in the exact same position with her arms up on the box. And she's gonna step back. She's gonna step back just a little bit further because we're still looking for that straight line between here and her ankles down here. And then she rotates her arms. And now she's gonna go down, touch her chest to the box, and then come back up just like that. Notice everything is still in line here. We still have good body shape here, and it's a little bit easier for her. And if you want, or if you need to, you can actually use the higher the obstacle here, the easier it will be to make the push-ups work.
I can imagine you need to use a wall
Absolutely.
to start with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We do have people use the wall sometimes, and sometimes the face gets in the way. They're trying to get in. So.
Darn face.
Right.
Darn face.
So what I can see when you do heft yourself up a little bit like that and you do it at an angle, is that taking strain off your arms, taking strain off using your whole body weight
Right.
as the
So what we've
weight
done
itself?
is remove some of the body weight.
Okay.
Right. A lot of people will do knee push-ups. We show so some people will do knee push-ups. That's kind of the popular scaling options. But the problem we found with this is now we've changed the angle of the body, and you end up stuck not being able to do a push-up because you're never actually doing the motion of a push-up. You never learned to keep your body in a straight line. Go ahead and hop up back to the plank there. So she's back in plank here. So by removing body weight, by elevating the chest, we keep you in that correct position. Go ahead, stand up.
So in the world of CrossFit, what do you suggest as far as a modification, this versus the knees?
We never teach the
Never
knees
teach the
because
knees,
we have found that people just end up doing knee push-ups for the rest of their lives. But if we do this, and then as these get easier and easier, you just keep lowering the box down until your hands are on the ground and you're doing push-ups.
Exactly, and then you can have that feeling you were saying about feeling like, I couldn't do this at all before, and now all of a sudden I'm doing
really
10.
Cool. That's really cool.
Now you asked a question right before we started about some fancy push-ups people may have seen in the movies.
In the movies, they do one-arm push-ups. Now, what do you think of those?
We try and stay away from anything that will force you to twist your spine in order to maintain some kind of rigidity in the body. So yeah, we're not huge for one-arm.
Good for the movies, but not for the body.
It makes great movement fodder, but yeah.
What about the push-ups where you clap in between? Have you ever
we
seen
do we do some plyometric stuff. If your push-ups aren't great, that's not what you're going to do. You're just going to keep working on this. But for some people that have a bunch of push-ups, yeah, we do add in some explosive upper body to do that.
Well, we're running out of time here, but I do have one more quick question. Is this something that people can see specifically in a CrossFit workout on an everyday basis, or those WODs, they change all the time, so push-ups aren't always part of it?
Nope, not at all, but they do show up fairly frequently.
They do show up?
Yeah.
Well, and now we know how to do them correctly, thanks to all of you.
Very good
Thank you so
positioning.
much. Yeah, absolutely. We have to run quickly for commercial, but we will be back with you shortly after the break at CrossFit Recursive. Welcome back to CrossFit Recursive. We're having a great time here. We actually just got done having a little giggle fit talking about some fun things that maybe we'll touch on later. But first of all, we are going to talk to Nicole Gessler here. We have the owner and head coach and a woman that knows quite a lot about nutrition. So Nicole, thank you again for having us today.
Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of questions. We're going to kind of just, I think, rail off to about nutrition within the world of CrossFit and what you have to offer.
You talk about percentage of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So what does CrossFit recommend?
We recommend 40% carbs, 30% fats, 30% protein. And so what we do when we have people come in, talk about the nutrition program, everybody actually gets one of these 3-compartment containers, which is super easy to use, right? Nice. We sell them in packs of 7, so you get one for every day of the week. And we recommend filling the biggest part with your vegetables, like the non-starchy, so like the carrots, corn, stuff like that. Not corn, that would be a starchy one, but carrots, broccoli, those sorts of things. So you want the biggest portion of your meal to be those vegetables. And then you have your lean proteins here, 30% and 30% of your starches, which would be like the quinoa or the oatmeal, potatoes, sweet potatoes, stuff like that. So you've got that balance.
Does the lid have to fit on it when they're done?
It does have to fit on it. It's got a little bit of raise, so you've got a little bit of flavor in there. But yeah, so I think we find that most people just in general, as Americans, we overeat. What our serving sizes and portion sizes, you look at a container and it's 4 servings and you're like, I can eat all that in one sitting. So we tend to overeat, so this is just a nice way to kind of give you that visual of this is how much food that I need.
That's really helpful just to stand here right now and look at it, because I'm thinking, I'm kind of hungry right now, so I'm thinking, I don't know if that would be a
right, like that's all the meat
things
you get, right? So you're like, oh, I want to eat more than that.
But once you get used to that, doesn't your body then change a bit to have that be an expectation of your body what it needs, because that's an appropriate amount.
For sure.
Healthy.
And a couple of things to remember with that is your stomach and your digestive is about 20 minutes behind your brain. So we eat quickly, right? Because we're always busy. So we eat, and then we're so overfull afterwards. So it's kind of nice to eat a little bit slower, eat the portion size, wait 15 minutes, and then if you still are genuinely hungry, then have a snack. But try and just keep to that meal plan. Eat what you have. You'll be filled. Your brain you'll feel better afterwards.
How soon after a workout would you recommend eating?
If you can handle it, we do recommend that people eat some protein and maybe some fat within an hour after working out. But sometimes, I like to eat. It doesn't bother me. I'll go work out and I'll eat right away. For some people, they kind of gives them an upset stomach. They don't want to. So something like a protein shake or a smoothie that's a little bit more easily digestible. They make those little. We have they're called Fuel for Fire, or those little yogurt pouches. Something like that. That's a little bit more easy to digest would be a good option for those people.
And about how long would you wait after work? After you eat, before you would work out.
Right. You don't want to end up famished, like you were saying earlier, right?
So we have a lot of, especially our early morning crew, we have classes at 5:30 a.m. And sometimes our morning people will just get up and they'll come in and they won't eat anything. And we do recommend that you eat about a half an hour before you work out, something like a banana or one of those smoothie pouches or something like that, just to get something into your system so your body's got the fuel and the energy to work out. But it varies by individual, because you don't want to eat all this stuff and then throw up or have an upset stomach, right? So you kind of have to know yourself and what works for you, but definitely having some energy, some fuel for that workout will make your workout go a little bit better.
And speaking of for individuals, we're running out of time a little bit, but I want to touch on that. when you start here, you sit down yourself with a new potential client or someone who's interested, and you have basically a question and answer form and conversation about what their goals are. I mean, what their goals are, and then what else to kind of unravel there. What do you figure out?
Yeah, so when we have new people come in, we talk about nutrition that very first day. Because nutrition, we have the fitness and wellness pyramid. The base of that is nutrition. So you can work out really hard and do all these things, but if your nutrition isn't on point, it's kind of a lost cause.
Yeah.
So nutrition is actually really the most important thing, and then the working out on top of that just makes it better.
Okay.
So we like to sit down and talk to you about what your goals are. What are you doing right now? What are some good habits that we can continue? What little things do we need to change? And then we've got a bunch of programs, kind of which program is going to be the best way for you to reach those goals that you have.
Perfect. So it's going to be for each person, every case by case basis. Thank you again for having us here. Nicole Gessler, CrossFit Recursive, and you said what, an avocado a day? So fat is good.
Listen to Dr. Pat.
Listen to Dr. Pat. Join us again after the break. Welcome back. We are at CrossFit Recursive with owners and head coaches Dirk and Nicole Gessler. Thank you again for having us today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, I'm excited because they're going to show myself and Dr. Pat how to do some introductory CrossFit moves. We're going to talk through it a bit, basically like we've never done anything like this before, which maybe we have, maybe we haven't.
Right.
And show how easy it is, really, how anybody can do it, and ask some questions along the way. Great.
Perfect.
Okay.
We're going to start off with the squat. So the first thing I want you to do, you've got feet in good position here. We're looking for just outside your hips or right underneath your shoulders. And then I want you to think about tightening up your midline, like if somebody was going to come up and punch you in the gut, like how you would do that. And then from here, I want you to initiate the movement by pushing your butt back to the wall behind you. Good, and then kind of keep pushing back. There we go, and then come back up. There we go. And then we really want to make sure that the knees stay back, just like so. Now they're behind the feet, and then his chest is staying upright. He's not hunched forward. He has that good upright posture.
So what is your feeling about people who have funny knees? Because I have funny knees and this looks painful.
So approached carefully and slowly, it can actually make your knees feel better. We have several members. We have a cross country or a downhill skier that blew out both of her knees, and she told me a couple months ago, my knees have never ever felt better since
That's
that
wonderful.
So I mean, we can do it.
It makes these muscles stronger around
right,
the
and it holds everything
and
in.
fluid and all that
as
stuff.
As long as form is correct.
What are some of the mistakes people make when they do squat?
I mentioned chest upright, but sometimes people will come forward and they'll kind of let the whole thing fall forward. And then another big one we see a lot is the knees will cave in as you go down. So you'll come down like so, and really we want that nice, solid position with the legs.
Some people flare their feet differently and things like
a little
that.
bit differently. Ideally you want your feet about 5 to 12 degrees out at an angle, but yeah, you don't want to be out here like so, because again, that's going to cause that caving in, which is hard on the ankle, it's hard on the knee.
How many reps would someone typically do?
It depends on the workout. We start out slow. Everything's scaled. You might do 20 or 30 over the course of 10 or 15 minutes on your first day. But we have certain workouts where you do 50 at a time.
How do you make it harder if people are getting really good at
There's
it?
all kinds of fun stuff to make it harder. We can do jumping air squats if the form is good. You can go down and then you can come up off the ground, or we can start adding weight in any number of ways: barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, sandbags.
Those are some really good squats, Dr. Pat.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so impressed. So what are you going to have me do, Nicole? I'm a little scared.
I know, you should be too. We are going to work on the burpee today.
Okay.
So very functional movement, you're on the ground, you need to get up. We all need to be able to do that. So we're gonna make it a little bit more fun with the burpee, a little bit more fast paced.
Okay.
So all I'm gonna have you do is hands on the floor, right underneath your shoulders. You're gonna plant your hands on the floor, you're gonna kick your feet back. You're gonna go down until your chest and your hips hit the floor. Okay, what I now want you to do you remember yoga, the cobra pose?
Sure.
So keep your hips on the floor, bring your chest up. So you've loaded your hips. I want you to send your butt straight up, keep your legs straight, pop those legs up so they land right outside your hands. Yeah, yep. And then at the end, you're gonna jump and clap, prove that you've done it.
Prove that I've done it.
Yep,
Okay.
just like that.
Okay.
So hands on the floor, try and kick both feet back. Chest hits the floor. Cobra pose. There you go, look at that.
Yay, burpee me.
Do that well.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have an overall question about burpees. It's
Yes.
just been killing me. Why is it called a burpee?
I don't know.
Well, it's capitalized too. If you ever get spell checked on it,
Oh, it's actually a name of a guy who did a lot of them. I think it was in the Army. His name was Burpee.
Oh,
Yeah.
here I thought maybe it like made your body burp or something like that. I didn't know. I was thinking about babies and I have no idea. Anyways, wow, that was nice. I got a little bit of blood pumping from that. It's not as hard as it looks. It's actually quite easy. Like, not 20 million of them.
Right, and even in today's workout, if you look behind us, we have rollover burpees. And so, I don't know if we have enough time for that
No,
real
we
quick.
don't, but
oh,
tell us,
Palmer.
tell us.
So you burpee, you roll over, you stand up. So it works on that vestibular system as well.
Oh,
so
very
while you're down
cool.
on the ground, you do that turn, stand up. So there's ways we can make burpees harder or easier as well.
Perfect. Well, that's for next time.
For next time.
Thank you for showing us all this great
Absolutely.
stuff, Nicole and Dirk Gessler here at CrossFit Recursive, and we'll be back with more in a moment. Thank you for joining us today at CrossFit Recursive. Dr. Pat and I had such a wonderful time. We got a little working out in. We got to talk with Nicole and Dirk Gessler about nutrition. What else did we do today? It was such fun.
Well, I love the squats and the burpees again. Getting into actual moving.
Getting in, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good workout.
Yeah, and this one's done a bit of that in the past, so it's good to bring that back out, right?
Absolutely.
CrossFit brings out great stuff. So again, thanks for joining us here at CrossFit Recursive, and have a wonderful time. We'll see you next time on Wisconsin's 57 Television.